So we have a lot of progression now after speaking to Brent a few times, and really, I've, I love that video that you did, Brent. It was short and precise. That the 1.0, the 2.0, and I totally agree, 100%. Okay. So thank you for coming in. We're gonna start. Okay. So let me just backtrack a little bit. As you know, in the last 1 year, uh, the world in general has been talking about AI, right? I'm sure all of you know about OpenAI, ChatGPT. Then they said Google was going to die, and then they came out with Gemini and all these AI, and it's playing a very big part in our lives, and it's just going to continue to be more. And so there are two options that you have. Number one, you can be left alone, left dead, and left behind, just like Nokia, right? When Nokia didn't believe on the iPhone and all that. And so I totally believe in AI. And when I spoke to Brent, I think what, 3 weeks ago, uh, many of us probably have played with ChatGPT and all these, right? Because it's, at a certain point, it's free. But when you want to get deeper, there's subscription, there's money to be paid. Okay. And when I spoke to Brent, I was really amazed with three things. Number one is the AI agents. Okay. The AI agents are basically the ones that are going out there to do the work for you. Okay. And I think as we are progressing in terms of the world is getting smaller, we need to clone ourselves so that we can go everywhere and do this business. Okay. So I tried playing with it, and oh my God, it's so much, very time consuming. And I asked Brent last week, I said, Brent, is there a way that you can give me a shortcut rather than I try to go and figure everything out and spend like 8 hours a day on a computer? And then at the end of the day, I will lose my business. I don't want to be spending 8 hours a day trying to learn everything, right? So I want something like, hey, can you get me an AI agent? And I just need to do some programming and then we start. I don't want to waste time. Okay. And so I spoke to Brent, and Brent, amazingly, thank you so much, Brent, is going to be sharing with us today, okay, about how we can save time. Most important, guys, is time, right? And the learning curve. I don't want to spend another 50 hours, 100 hours, okay? I want something in my hand and then somebody to just guide me. Okay? That's what the all the successful people say. Why you want to learn? Why you want to start from zero, right? When there you have tools that you can use. So with that said, let me pass it now to Brent Bryson. Brent, good morning.
Yeah, hi. I you did a good job, John. I don't know when I kind of became aware, and I've talked on these a little bit. Um, I was invited over to I was invited to join a golf startup. Actually, is where it all started. Um, some friends of mine, actually, one that used to be the senior vice president of new product development at Newskin, called me up one day, Jack Peterson, and said, "Hey, we're building we're building an AI caddy," and I was about as clueless as I could be, honestly. I hadn't really been paying attention to what was happening with AI. I'd heard this and I'd heard that, probably a lot like you, actually. Unless you really have a motivation to dive in, you don't really know what's going on. And so the first thing I want to say tonight is this is happening now. It's so happening, and this is not something that's going to happen. I don't think we're behind. I don't think that we're huge early adopters. We are a little early, which is better than late. And so the second I saw it and saw what they were doing with that golf caddy, and it spoke, it didn't have a screen. You just talked to it, and it was accurate to 1 centimeter anywhere in the world. And it was just an amazing thing. And so I came home and I didn't know where to start. I had no clue, and I just kind of dove in. And it's kind of the way to learn something. I think is you just, if you want to learn to swim, you just jump in the water and you either drown or learn to swim. And so actually, I'm going to go ahead and let my clone introduce what we're doing with agents tonight. So this was my first instinct, is I believed that I could replace myself in the prospecting part of the business with an agent, uh, an actual agent. Now, 8 months ago, when I started splashing around, these weren't available. There were bots, there were chat bots, which are very different. They can answer the phone at night, and they can answer pretty much any question that anybody has to ask them, but they don't, really do very much. So with that, I'm going to introduce these. I'm gonna have to share my
ดา
screen.
co-host Brent ด้วย
Evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know your time is valuable, so I'm going to get straight to the point, because what I'm about to share with you could completely transform how you
Hold
build
on, Brent. We need to get you to share the
My
screen.
name is Nate,
I'm doing
and
it.
I've been in network marketing for X years. Like many of you, I've spent countless hours
Did I
scrolling
get
through
it?
social media, sending DMs that get ignored, and chasing leads that go nowhere. I was working harder than ever, but not seeing the results I deserved. But about 6 months ago, I discovered something that changed everything. I found a way to automate my prospecting so that qualified leads come to me every single day. While I sleep, while I'm with my family, while I'm focusing on closing deals instead of hunting for them. And tonight, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same thing. Even better, I'm offering the first 50 people who join me tonight a deal that will never be available again. The problem: 3 minutes. Let me ask you a question. How many hours did you spend last week looking for leads? Be honest with yourself. If you're like most network marketers, you're spending at least 10 to 20 hours a week on prospecting. That's scrolling through Facebook groups, commenting on posts, sending cold DMs, following up with people who ghost you. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and frankly, it's not scalable. Here's the brutal truth: manual prospecting is a losing game. You can only reach so many people in a day. You can only send so many messages. And even when you do find someone who seems interested, they disappear the moment you mention your opportunity. But here's what really kills me. While you're spending all that time hunting for leads, your competitors are out there closing deals. They're building teams. They're hitting rank advancements. And you're stuck in the grind. There has to be a better way, and there is. The solution: 4 minutes. What if I told you that you could have a tireless assistant working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, scanning social media for the exact type of person you want to recruit? Someone who's just changed jobs, someone who's posting about needing extra income, someone who's engaging with content about entrepreneurship. And what if this assistant could automatically reach out to them with a personalized message in English or Thai, nurture them through a proven email sequence, send them a text message to cut through the noise, and deliver them to you as a warm, qualified lead, ready to hear your pitch? That's exactly what the bilingual AI prospecting agent does. This is not some generic automation tool. This is a fully customized AI agent that learns your ideal customer profile, monitors multiple platforms around the clock, and automates the entire prospecting process so you can focus on what you do best: closing deals and building relationships. And because it's bilingual, supporting both English and Thai, you're not just doubling your market, you're positioning yourself to build a truly global business. How it works: 3 minutes. Let me break down exactly how this works, because I want you to understand that this is real, proven technology, not some fantasy. Step 1: social listening. Your agent monitors Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and LinkedIn for specific signal.
Sorry, my clone died, and he does so much better job than me. Oh well. So you get the idea, right? What's happened to my computer here? Are we still here?
Yes.
John,
Yes.
help out.
Yep. I'm here. I'm here.
My clone died. My computer's froze. I thought I was going to have enough time to get my clone to do this tonight. I was going to have him do it both in English and in Thai, and that's just that's kind of an AI thing too. I mean, it pretty much looks and sounds like me, and it's a little bit hard to get your arms around that you can send it to do pretty much anything. You can do research and anything that you can type into the chat bot or into the chat box, your clone will say, and it'll say it just like you. So that's a little different thing. It's not what we're doing with an agent. Okay, an agent is actually agentic. What that means is that it can actually make decisions.
Posts about needing money, engagement with business.
There's my clone weighing back in.
It's like having a team of
Hold on.
researchers.
I'll get rid of him.
nonstop. Step 2.
I think I'll get rid of him. I may get rid of him.
Not every lead is a good lead. Your agent uses AI to score each prospect based on their likelihood to convert.
Perfect.
It filters out the tire kickers
Sorry.
and delivers only the people who are actually ready to take action.
All right. So where I was agents are actually have agency, and that's the idea, is that they can actually make decisions, which is a fascinating thing. When I first saw it, I just was like, you got to be kidding me. One of the first ones I ever saw, this is maybe 6 months ago, it literally rolled up on a password, on a username and a password, typed in the username, typed in the password, and then went to the CAPTCHA, which happened to be a traffic light, and it put the traffic light together. And then the question came up, are you a robot? And it said no. I thought, oh my gosh, wow, we're in trouble, you know? And it went right through and went right into LinkedIn and started DMing people. And I just thought, oh my gosh, you know, welcome to the future. And so that's where we are. And that's what we're doing. John and I've been talking. Some of you have been on those calls. And we just decided that I'm about 8 months down the road. I've programmed a few of these. I know what our ideal customer is. And so these agents will go find those people. And they do that basically by listening. What they do is they go out into social media and they listen for signs of like a change in somebody's life. You know, maybe they change jobs, or they move to a different city, or they get divorced, or they express somewhere in social media that they are looking for a side hustle. Those would all be they would be listening signs, and that are the kind of leads that the agent will go get. And then they purify those leads. They make sure that they get a good phone number, they get a good email, and they know that they can contact them again. And then they start to send emails. They send a series of 4 emails to nurture that lead. So by the time you get that lead on your Google sheet, you're pretty sure that it's somebody you can spend some time with and try to recruit into your business. Now, these are recruiting agents, the basic one and the premier, or the premium one, the one that's got more tools for communication. So they're a very efficient little buggers. Anyway, so there you go. That's pretty much the deal. I don't know. I'm going to spend a lot of time on these, and I think they'll do a lot of good. So they do speak English and they do speak Thai. I know that there's some Vietnamese on, and we'll make sure that we get a Vietnamese version also, if you're interested.
Brent,
so they'll all be English first, and then a second language.
Brent, I have a question. Yeah. Okay, can we? Okay, so at this point, if anybody has a question, please raise your hand and we can call you. Okay, but I have a question, Brent, regarding the what you mentioned about this AI agents. Once we how does it go? Because definitely there's like a subscription, right? Every month, because every AI, guys, understand, if you start getting into deeper, that's where it requires subscription. And then what Brent is trying to do is give us an AI agent Okay. And then we dress it up ourselves, right? Because some of you may have different prompts and all that, right? You know what a prompt is, right? A prompt is a command, right? So some of you may prompt the AI to do this. I may prompt an AI to do this. So I have first question, Brent. Can we
Yeah.
do this in Bahasa Indonesia, Bahasa
Do
Malaysia,
they have
Bahasa
do they have
Melayu?
social platforms? LinkedIn, Snapchat, WeChat, Line, any of those kind of things?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they use. Okay, so basically, the entire Southeast Asia are on WhatsApp. Okay,
Okay.
but Thailand is more
Yeah.
online, but it's okay. We can do that, right? So it can be in different languages.
Correct.
Okay. Second, once we let's say take this AI agent, you will guide us on how to dress it up. So some may dress it up differently.
Yeah. So what is in the website, John, that I did for you guys,
Hmm.
is that we'll spend whatever time we need to help you get them going. So we'll do that in smaller sessions. We'll do it in small groups, and so what you'll do is you'll purchase your agent, and then we'll use the scheduling tool on my stand store. We'll schedule times, and then I'll help you know how to launch them, and they're automated, so you can have them run every day at 7 o'clock. They won't run before 7 a.m. and they won't run past 8 p.m. There's a lot of regulation stuff, and I don't know Southeast Asia's regulations necessarily, but I put a lot of safety rails in these because you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to lose your social media account, which is
Yep.
possible if you let an agent do stuff that it really shouldn't be doing. And you can also screw up your email by sending too many emails or even too many DMs. So all of that's built into these. So you just run them 24/7. They'll
Mhm.
stop at the proper time and they'll start again at the same time. And if they're producing good leads, then you really don't need to mess with them. There's not much fine tuning. If they're not, then you can fine tune them and you can say, well, let's try someplace else. Let's try Facebook, or let's try um, you know, uh, whatever. I mean, there's 7 platforms, so over here and over there, there's even more. So um, there's even other places to look for leads. It's Google Maps and other places. It's really interesting how many places there are. Even just something as simple as, well, going through all the spas, in Thailand, and just selling product. You can change the programming. You can change the ideal target. So if you're not comfortable recruiting for the business, then you can go straight to the product. I think there's a better way to do the product personally, and John and I've talked a lot about that, and that's the social media influencer avatars, and they're not real. There's social media avatars now that have millions of followers really, and have brand deals, and they they generate tremendous amounts of income. They sell tons of product, just like your social media. They're literally, you would look at them just like a human that you recruited, with the exception of they don't ever have their hair terribly messed up, and they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they post their own content and they do their own DMs, and so that's more. I think that's the better direction for product, and I'm gonna be raising one of those here pretty quick. I've done a lot of work on that, and so I don't have one currently. I do have a clone. You've seen my clone. It'll do. I didn't quite get done with tonight's message. It was going to be pretty good, but I left in some of the editing that where it said, you probably noticed it, it'd say 4 minutes. those were section breaks, and they were meant for B-roll, and they were meant for other graphics. They were meant for the slides, and it just took way too long to get it done. I did a website for tonight. These guys will share that with you, and it took a lot of time. So at any rate, so that's going to be my arsenal. Ultimately, I have an agent. My agent is right behind me. It's running on my computer. Um, I've named him Agent Zero because he's my baseline agent. I run more one agent most of the time. Where is he? Anyway, where is he? It's underneath that window. It's right there somewhere. Anyway, he's constantly running. There he is right there. And he's waiting for me right now. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 6, 7 leads that I need to give him more information. He wants to know whether I want to send him email. So he's not completely programmed. I haven't got him quite autonomous yet, but he's a pretty powerful agent. He can bash a password. I don't even know how I feel about running him. Anyway, okay. So there you go. So I'll have an agent, and then I have a clone, and my clone will do my YouTube channel. It'll do all my social media. Everything I post in social media from this point forward will not be me. It will be my clone. And because I want to do what I want to do. So I will do all of the research. I'll do all of the actual, words, the actual content that's in there, I'll do, but it'll present it. And I think it does a better job than me, frankly. And then I'll have a social media influencer. It'll be, John's already seen some of my choices. John, how did I do? Are they cute?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
I need
so
what I want is I need a few of them. Send them to India, send them to Southeast Asia, so I can dress them up. So what Brent's talking about is a clone. We can dress them up just like a Vietnamese, just like a Indian, looking just like everybody. Okay.
Model. Yeah.
Yeah, like a model.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they literally are. If you think of some of the people that have come through our groups and have done really well selling in social media, they usually are fairly attractive people, and they generate a large following, and then they're able to sell. People want to do what they're doing, and that's the psychology right there. And at first, when I first saw them, I thought, that's crazy. People will be really bothered that they're not real. They're not people. They're generated. They were literally pulled from thin air. And but people don't care. They care about the value. They care about the message. So that's why the researching, all of these things that we're doing, we're going to do a hybrid approach. None of this is going to be auto magic, right? Even these agents, there's a human in the loop. You're not going to have your agent sending an email without you knowing. You'll have to. It'll do it all. It'll have it all ready to go, but you've got to press send. And that's just the safer way to do it. You've got to have a human in the loop, or you'll blow up your social media accounts and you'll get yourself in trouble. And so a human in the loop with my clone is I do the research, I put in the information, but the clone delivers the message. And with the social media avatars, they just are what they are. They're just a pretty girl that likes new skin products or likes skincare, and they have a valuable message. They want to teach people about how to take care of their skin and how to live a nice, healthy life most of the time. And then 20% of the time they're tigers, and they look for the throat and they close and they sell, but the rest of the time they're nice and friendly. So there you go. Just like us. They are just like us. A matter of fact, you'll notice that in the store, I put on the button, I said, hire your helper. I didn't say buy now. I said, hire your helper, because that's what you're doing. You're duplicating yourself.
Brent, okay, so let me stop you there for a minute. Anybody have any questions? Please. Anybody have any question?
Yes, I do, John.
Yes. Thank you.
Hi,
Go ahead, Tune.
Hey, Tune.
Hi. So I was running the agent from the ChatGPT, and I came into a halt when the error message says that the agent on the ChatGPT cannot look through the either Instagram or LinkedIn account because it doesn't have the access to browse through those accounts. Have you run into those with ChatGPT?
Yeah. So ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity, and even to a certain degree, Elon Musk's Grok, they all have such tight guidelines. That's why we need to go to our own agents. You've got to be able to program them. So these agents will have in them, they'll have a place for username and a password so that they can log on. You're going to have to give them those tokens, right? And you'll have to log them on at some point to some platforms. And what I mean by that is, so my agent that I'm running right now, what he does when he wants to get into, or when I give him an assignment and I've got to get him into LinkedIn specifically, I have to be there. He has to text me and say, I need you because I need you to put in the 6-digit code. So that's on the two, so there's a username, password, and then you get the 6-digit code. Well, you have to be there, human in the loop, to do that. And so these are all the things that we'll do is we teach you how to run them. So there's two different kinds of agents. There's agents that they don't run in the browser. Okay, they run on the root. Okay, so they run even below the web, right? So, and then there's browser agents, and that's the ones you want. You want browser agents because they can do anything that you can do in your browser. So they can do anything that you can do. They're browser agents. They can type passwords, they can type usernames. Yeah, that is a big deal. And that's why on a large language model that's not agentic, okay, ChatGPT is not agentic. It does not have the ability to do things on its own. It can't make choices. It's a chatbot, right? It's not an agent. Now it has an agent mode, but it doesn't have tools. So we arm these with tools so that they can get where they need to go, right? And one of those tools is authentication. They have to have it.
So which other platform that we can use?
So these will be powered. So I'll probably use like Llama 3, or maybe Minstrel. I'll use an open source model. And the reason for that is because it doesn't cost any money, right? So the problem with running ChatGPT, these would have to be way more expensive, because if you're doing, say, 80 instances a day, 30 days, you're talking about some money. You're talking about some serious money. So these will be powered by the free models, mostly the Chinese models. I personally like Llama. I don't hate Minstrel. There's a bunch of really smart AI out there. When people talk about the big frontier models, the premier models, personally, I don't use ChatGPT. It crashes. It needs way too much RAM to run. I don't find it all that smart. I mostly use Claude and Claude Code, and I mostly deal with it through the terminal because it's faster. Without a UI, I can talk to it and get real fast answers, And I've massively pre-programmed and fine-tuned, which is where we started. You really do need to have an interview with your machine so that it knows you. But when you start to get into, so the agent that's over there, Agent Zero, so he has his own operating system. Not only does he's powered by Llama, but he's
Ollama, Ollama, right?
Yeah,
Ollama.
It starts with Ollama, and it's small. It's a little model. You could run it on your home PC if you wanted. Actually, you could have Llama on your PC and then have Agent Zero on your PC, and you would never need the internet. You'd be completely isolated. You could isolate your data. Nobody could ever see it. And you put it in a container, and he can run on the internet when he wanted to, or when you wanted him to. So, there's, when people talk about those big models, it's like 1% of what's going on. It tends to hog all the news, And you know, whatever they do, whenever they do an update or whatever, and the last one that ChatGPT did 5.2 is just terrible. It's just awful. I would not pay for it. I tried, I did, and but Claude's much better. And in some ways, um, I haven't really used, truthfully, a lot of Elon still, whatever that one is. I missed it. Yeah, I just haven't used it. I probably should because they say it's getting really smart. I tend to use DeepSeek. I tend to use, and so I tend toward the more open source stuff. The reason being is because you can program it the way you want, and you don't have to worry about the guardrails that are too tall. You know, they're just too tall. And trying to generate an image in Nano Banana Pro that has a neckline that's any lower than about right there. And it'll just have a big red flash and say, nope, that bumps into my guardrails. You can't make that picture. Sorry. You know, I don't like that. I don't agree.
Brent, Lily has question.
Yeah.
Lily,เปิดไมค์เลยค่ะ
Okay, I heard from someone the Heijian, how do you call it? The AI is much better than, I mean, other AI because it's look really like you, and also.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I used to make my clone was Heijian.
Oh, really? The Heijian, right? Okay.
Yeah. So Heijian's really good at. So what Heijian's good at is putting the voice and the lip sync and turning it into something that actually looks right. So there's other companies that do it, but don't use their voice. If you're going to do that, use 11 Labs. And I have a whole, so John has a whole website that's about building clones and with a step-by-step guide. And so the reason you use 11 Labs is, so I did 11 Labs, and that's how does my voice sound on my clone? Does it sound like me?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like me, doesn't it? So I did 2 hours of recording, and then they synthesized that, and then they give you a test after, and words that weren't clear, you re-speak, and then it goes into their library. And once you've done that, if you do the 2 hours of speaking, and then you can put your voice in their library, and people can rank your voice, and you can be paid for that. So I really think that what Heijian does is they're good at putting the voice and the video and the image together in a way that it looks like a real person with the motion. So they recommend that you do 4 minutes of video and at least 4 minutes in 3 different positions, I think it is, or 4. I did this a little while ago. And then you put that in there, and then you give it a picture, and then there's a prompt that you use, and it turns it into a video, and then you use their studio, and it puts the voice on. Yeah, you're right. So Lily, that is the place to do that. Just use 11 Labs for the voice. You're going to see a lot of my clone. My clone just woke up like a week ago, and I finally have gotten around to really, finding a great use. I'm going to have my clone do a 45-minute YouTube video once a week, and then I'll break that down into little pieces. So it'll be reels, and then I'll use those in YouTube and post them other places. So I'll do all my research. And then I'm going to start with 1 video with the goal of doing 4 a week going forward. So the whole thing's going to be all video driven. So I just finally am going to bite the bullet. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be out there with my face. My clone's going to do it. It wants to. I swear it told me it does. So if it doesn't, I'll make it do it anyway. Right?
This is all right. Let me stop there for a minute, Brent. Okay.
Yeah.
The people are like, what's going on, right? A lot of people they kind of vividly understand, but it's still a bit confusing for a lot. Yeah. So all right, let's get into
John, how
we're gonna do this.
John, one second. Let me take 5 minutes on that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I started
All
off
right.
with tonight saying this, and that is this is all happening now. And I mean, it's like I can't believe how fast things change. Like
Mm,
whatever I learned a
yeah.
month ago is completely obsolete. So if you're familiar, and you should probably translate this, but so anybody familiar with Moore's law? So when the silicon chip was invented, somebody named Moore said that he believed that technology would get twice as fast
Mm,
and half as expensive every 24 months. And it has. That's basically it got to a point where it was doubling in speed and halving in price about every 18 months. And that's kind of the standard for Moore's law. AI, AI is outpacing Moore's law by 50 times.
mm,
It's 50 times smarter. That's how fast it's growing.
mm,
The an entire server room 9 years ago, which was the first NVIDIA chip, it took an entire server room to equal what came out last month, which is the mini supercomputer, which is $4,000. And it is equal in computing power to the entire server farm that they were using 9 years ago.
mm,
Um, this is not going to slow down, you guys. It's going to reach into every single
mm.
area of your life, everything, every single process, everyone. I ask myself every time I do anything, can AI do this? And
Hmm.
I got to tell you, 9 times out of 10, I can figure out how to get AI to do it for me. And once it's done it once, I don't have to ever do it again.
Mhm.
You know, it's really remarkable how it takes a little, you're going to need to be patient. And what you need to know is that the AI of tomorrow is going to be way more capable than the AI of today. It's just going to get better. We've never seen anything like this that gets smarter, faster, and safer every day. There's never been anything like
Mhm.
that. I'm going to use it. You know, I'm either going to use it or I'm going to worry about being replaced. Because at some level, you know, you can teach. At some level, it gets further along, and you know, we better be ahead of the curve. Or if I'm running the thing, I'd just do something different. I'll leave it there, right?
Mhm.
Me, I'm going to put an army of agents on the field.
Mhm.
So let's do it.
Yep. I'm in with this, man.
All right.
I need another 50,
There's
John.
no cheers because you can see the work, right? I know what you're thinking. My brain nearly blew up. I just, it still does every day. I've got 27 projects going. I'm building clones, I'm building agents, I'm building avatars, I'm doing AI evaluations, I'm building websites, you know, and mostly just because I think it's really fun. And but my focus has always been on my new skin business. It just as soon as I thought it was available to be able to do it, you know, to be able to really influence it, I was all over it, and I still am. So there you go.
Okay, Brent. So let's conclude this. For those that are interested to move forward with AI, can you just kind of raise your hand so I kind of know who's interested in moving to the next step of AI? Can you raise your hand? Okay. Those that are interested, okay. Once we start doing this, then you'll be joining us in the next event. Okay. For those that are not, that's fine. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right.
Can people raise their hand so that Ta can snapshot so that we know who to follow after? Can you raise your hand again?
Hati raise hand ไม่เจอ
You can just
No,
put your
just
hand up. No, it's okay. Just put your hand up. Put your hand up. It's okay. If you can't press the button, just put your hand up. Okay. Because the next step are only these people that are going to be involved. Okay. those that did not raise their hand, you will not be joining in the next AI. There's no point, okay, because you're not going to understand it. Okay, so we're going to toggle this along. For those that are like, some of you, you're not tech savvy, don't worry about it, okay? We're going to move, okay? All right, so I'm going to pass it to Brent because okay, thank you. We already have you. Thank you. Okay, so what we want to do is, this is something that I encourage you, okay? Just give me a minute, Brent. So, yeah, let me because there is no way you're going to do the entire world. There is just impossible, okay? And if you continue to do just only online, you are done, okay? So what we're going to do is, I've spoken to Brent, and I'm going to send out some AI agents, some clones into India, sell product in a man version, in a girl version, dressed up in Indian and selling life pack for me. I'm going to do that in Malaysia. I'm going to do that in Indonesia. I'm going to do that in Singapore. I'm going to do that in every damn country. Okay. So this is something that it's not only maybe selling you product, but it's another door for you to get people. Okay. And I look at this like this. 7 years ago, it was all about Facebook. Right now, it's about TikTok. Right? And over the next few years is going to be the AI. So if we can capture this in the beginning, maybe 5 years from now, it'll be something else, another word or something, right? So, okay, I want to shorten the time. And so I told Brent, I went in, it's just a lot. It's overwhelming, guys. It's a lot of information. And you don't want to spend too much time on this, okay? So I asked Brent, what can we do? And so Brent said, okay, he's going to create a clone, an AI agent, and then he's going to teach us how to dress it up. Okay. All right. But as you know, there's a subscription fee. Okay. So Brent, can you share that so that everybody knows?
It's on in the chat box.
So there's a couple of different costs
so go to
that are associated with it's not just the engineering, it's so in order to have them be able to send email, you need to have a certain kind of email. So I had to sign up for that, and then SMS also, and these are more services for the premium agent. So it can send direct messages, and it can also send SMS, and and I'm going to check into WhatsApp. I know they can do that also. I know they can do Telegram, and I know that WhatsApp is basically the same technology, really. So I'm pretty sure that we can put that in there. And then, but hosting, it's mostly hosting, and then computes. Even with them being free, you still hit rate limits, and they're free. They're only free to a certain spot, and then you need an API key, which is just all it is just a gateway. But you got to pay for that too, because there's a rate limit. So there's going to be costs associated with them, and most of that cost is per instance. So every time you send it out, there's going to be a certain amount of cost. Mm-hmm. So I'll bear that, and I'll do the engineering, and we'll go from there. And I've already done some research on version 2, and I know what version 3 needs to look like. So anyway, so that gives us the opportunity to be good at it and keep getting better.
Okay. Brent, I just want to update you guys. I don't know how well you know Brent, but I know him very well. And I know 10 years ago, remember, Brent, when we started System 7, Brent started doing something like e-learn, and he had all that tape and all that stuff together. So we have the right person who has some already technology and the understanding of this to do it. I don't have the patience to do this, and I don't have the time. Okay, so we're gonna buy this shortcut. Okay, so bring it on, Brent. I'm ready to dress my AI agent and my clone. I need my clone. Okay.
Is so cool.
I need the signal.
I wish I had edited him better tonight, but he had some mistakes. He introduced himself as my name instead of me.
Okay, so let's do this. So what should we do, Brent? Step 1, Step two,
So
what
go
do
to
we
the
do?
stand store, decide which agent you want to buy,
Okay.
hire, like I
Okay.
said, and either one of them is going to do you a lot of good. 40, 50 leads a month isn't going to hurt you, and they'll be highly, they'll be through the ringer. They're not. It's not like just a name. It doesn't just go out there and find some name and give it to you and sell it to you as a lead. No, it goes out and makes sure that that person actually wants to hear a message, right? So I don't know how you do better, really. If you know that somebody's transitional and they've responded positively all the way down the funnel, then you better be calling that person, and that's human in the loop. And that's the way to do this. Let the agentic do all the heavy lifting. And then,
Yeah.
then when the heavy lifting is at the right moment, then you do human in the loop.
Brent, so shall we do the which there's two, right? So which
Yeah.
one do you
So-
recommend?
So I would look at both of them and I would read through their specs and I would
Okay.
decide, do you want one that does LinkedIn prospecting and does SMS and DM direct messages and does twice the volume of leads, so it'll do 2x the volume, or do you want the other one just because it's a starter and you're not sure? Either way, it's going to get your feet wet, and my guess is that once you've got a taste of it, you're going to want to taste more.
Okay.
That's
So
where I'm
Brent, let me conclude this. So after this Zoom, everyone go and pick which one you want. It's either like basic one or $99 or the
Brent, can you
premium
show?
one.
No,
Yeah,
can,
right
can,
here.
can-
So am I still sharing my screen?
yeah, you are.
So this one right here, the stand store.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
basic AI agent.
So this is the basic one right here.
Okay.
Okay, so let me
You-
conclude this.
You can
So
read about
after,
it. You can click
Yeah.
on it and read about it. So it's founder's price, $99. There's no setup fee. I'd normally charge $300. Bilingual prospecting, English, Thai, automated outreach, the two most important markets for your business. So multi-platform monitoring, it finds leads on Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit. Automatic email sequences, nurtures your prospect with a 4-step email drip. And then there's some marketing dribble in here. I had AI help me do a lot of this.
okay,
So,
Brent, let me conclude this. So after this Zoom, everyone go to Brent's stand store. You can either pick like premium one or the basic one. If you want to know the difference between those two, you can read about it in that stand store. So the basic one is about $99 per month, and the premium one is $147 per month. So that including already the subscription and the agent and everything else. So it's all included. So you don't have to go through yourself. And after that, after you pick it, you can put an appointment booking, right, Brent, in that
Mhm.
stand store
Yeah.
with Brent. So
Right on
he
my
gonna
stand store. I'll set.
Noon, why don't we Noon, why don't we set it up for the ones who have already paid to do it together? Brent doesn't have time to do individual.
Well,
Okay.
so here's what I'd say, John. I'd say we should do groups of not more than 10, and 5 would be even more ideal. I'm more than willing to spend the time to make sure that that everybody knows how to run them and that they're not intimidated by any of it.
Yep.
That they don't, that they know that. So these will have a really decent user interface. You'll know where to type. They'll be able to talk to you. They'll be able to text you. Matter of fact, you guys have seen some messages from Rodney. He got 100 leads for me last week, and he just won't shut up. I finally had to ignore him. But he's always telling me everything he's doing.
Brent,
So,
I think we can. I think in here, I think there's only Noon. How many do we have? So we can just group it now.
No,
Do we-
I think
I think
okay. Oh, hold on, please.
1, 2,
Hold on.
3, 4, 5.
Hold on, John, hold on. Why
Yeah.
don't we all start with basic first, and then
Yeah.
we can set an appointment with Brent as of now?
Yeah, correct.
That's great. Okay.
Are you guys agree with
I'll make
this?
sure that the calendar's live in the next 5 minutes. I didn't think to turn it on.
Okay. Can anyone just type in if you are in for this so that we can agree, talk about the time that we're gonna meet with Brent next? So we can set up appointment now. So there will be Toon, number one. Lily, number two. Nancy, number three. Tira, number four. Tarita, number five. John and I, number 6, 7. Nina will be 8. Me will be 9. And Ma'am will be 10. So that's all, 10 people. Finish. Okay.
Perfect.
Brent, so that will be 10 people. So what time is available for you, Brent?
So I can do this time, morning time. Your morning time. I can do whatever. I don't really prefer early morning just because I'd rather be like alive. I'd rather be. So your morning, my evening is probably the ideal for me.
Okay, can you type in proposing the time, please, everyone? This Saturday and Sunday we cannot because we have camp, Brent.
Sorry.
We do it next week.
Yeah.
What about next week?
Either or, this week or next week. I'm this is a priority. I don't really have.
How
What
long
about
would it take?
Tuesday?
Dude, how long would it take?
Brent, how long?
I think you need an hour. So if you're technically literate, you're going to get this so quick.
Wednesday. Why don't we do it on Wednesday,
You don't
dude?
so here's the big secret about AI. So this is the absolute God's honest truth right here. You don't have to have a technical bone in your body to do this, not one. So it is based on technology. There's no question. But I started coding. I have written pieces of software. I wrote a RAG. I literally wrote a regenerative. It's an agentic place to store private data. And I did that using AI. And all I did is I just asked the AI, so what do I do now? So what's next? Okay, what's the next step? All right, what's the next step? What do I do now? And I just had it teach me and walk me through how to write software. Now I look at it and I kind of know what's going on. I didn't at first, but that's how you do this. If you have access to a large language model, a frontier, a chat bot, right? That'd be ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or Grok, any of those, then you just ask it. They know how to program, they know how to write code. They just ask them, whatever you don't know, just ask them. And that's the best way to learn, really. So it's going to not take very long, Noon. I would say the language barrier is going to be a little bit tricky, but if we've got English speakers, half hour to 45 minutes, if we have people that need, that they're not getting it or whatever, I'm happy to spend one-on-one time.
Okay, Brent, can we do next Wednesday at the same time like this?
Yeah.
Which gonna be Tuesday night for you?
Okay. Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
So 1 week from now. Yeah, 1 week from now, Brent.
So that's Wednesday
No,
Brent, it will be Tuesday night.
Oh, Tuesday night. Okay. So 1 week from today. I got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there will be 10 people just type in. So Brent, let's say between now and then, some people want to buy like a premium. Can they still join on that session next week?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I did everything I could do to give you a little push, right? So, the truth of the matter is we'll probably have this offer last a little while. Some of the founders, the people that get good at it, there's going to be an incentive. There's going to be a way for you to sell these things to your downline and make a little money, or, at least because you're going to end up trying to help. once you know how, you're going to be the person that's got to be in the loop to teach your people, just like the business says, So I'm going to do a really good job at teaching these first founders exactly what they need to do and what's going on, because then, you're the AI natives then. You get to be the front line.
So guys, just want to let you know again, confirm, please, after this Zoom meeting, you go into the stand store of Brent and then click $99 per month and then get yourself registered. And we will come back again next 1 week from now, same time, 9 p.m. Bangkok time on Wednesday, which will be Tuesday, 7 p.m. for Brent.
Mm-hmm.
And Brent, what if somebody like already knew so much about this thing and they want to come and learn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So yeah, and any feedback, and if you love it, please leave comments. I'll have a place in the store for that on the agents. All of that's going to help us going forward, because if I don't know, am I wired wrong, John? My thought is I want one, but I want 1,000 of them in my downline. So here's just one little thing. So there's a literal AI arms race going on. I don't know how familiar you are all with how many
Yes, I am.
big server farms, and there's a worldwide global chip shortage right now because of AI.
Yep.
So RAM chips have literally 500 times in price. For the first time in history, when you buy your PC, like from Dell, they don't put RAM in it. You're on your own, because the price is changing too fast to have a profitable business model. So the reason is agents.
Yeah.
There's going to be more agents than there are people. I would even go so far to say that there's going to be as many robots as there are people. Well, but there's going to be an awful lot of robots.
Right. So Nu Skin is going to recognize soon to be my new AI agent team elite.
Yeah. Hey, why not? Hey, there's a social media influencer that has 14 million followers. Why not?
I want to sell the entire India. I need the clone in every damn city. Brad, I need this in Bahasa, Indonesia, and Bahasa Melayu.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk language and stuff. I think I only have 157 languages available. So.
All right.
That's the translation.
So Brent,
in the whole world.
Also in Mandarin too, Brent. I'm gonna send it to China.
Chinese.
Yeah, China.
I'll send it to China to sell the product.
Brent. So I recommend that for those of you who don't have any knowledge, okay, they can come next week, right? Put on just buying that package on your stand store first. But for those of you that already far advanced than other people, I also recommend you to attend, because this kind of things you have to be able to teach your downline after how to do it in a constructive way. You understand what I mean, right? So it's always useful.
Yeah, and likely Thai.
Yeah, and in whatever language you speak, right? In that, but so maybe you can come and observe and learn from Brent, but always give priority to those 10 people that already pay. They can ask questions, and always you just observer, what I mean, right? But you just want to be able to know how to teach in a constructive way to your downline in the future. And second thing that I want to mention is that this is between BG group. So please keep it here and don't spread out. It's dangerous to us to spread out right now. Okay. So please stay in BG, keep it in BG. Okay.
Brent, what can we do before next week that we can learn ahead of time, get started before we meet
Yeah,
again?
so when you buy your clone, you're not gonna, it's not gonna deliver it to you. I need to make sure you guys know that, right? These will be built. Well, I gotta have them built by next Tuesday, don't I? So by next Tuesday, we'll deliver each one of you your agent, and if you can figure out how to run it, it's just a script, and there'll be good instructions, and I say go for it, and then by the time you show up at the meeting next Tuesday night, you'll have questions, and we'll take care of them, and I'll show you how to get in there and change the emails and make sure that it's your name and your contact information and et cetera, all that. So, and then if you want to do a little fine tuning, you'll be able to do that too. Because at the end of the day, I know who I'm looking for. I'm looking for Nathan Ricks. That's who I'm looking for. That's my ideal customer. That's my ideal distributor. That's the one I want. I want a John Immeron, and I'll settle for nothing less, right? So that's your ideal customer, and or whatever your ideal customer is. And so I'll help you with that too. That's primary. You got to tell the agent what you're looking for. You got to be absolutely, completely clear. That's the most important thing that you can learn about AI is that it can't guess. They don't guess. They don't fill in gaps. That's what they call a hallucination. If you leave a gap, it'll make it up because they're eager and they want to please. And so if you don't answer a question, they will answer. And you don't always want their answer. Sometimes it's great. Most of the time it's not. And so just be very, very clear in your language. Take time to think about what you're asking for. So the biggest difference between someone who uses AI to its maximum potential, which is about 1%, and somebody that's using it like Google. So they say that the average prompt is 9 words. Somebody that knows what they're doing, I don't do prompts under 500 words. Most of my prompts equal 2,000 words or beyond. The prompt that I put in for this website and for this meeting tonight was over 2,000 words. And it took a lot of time to think. I sat on my patio for about 3 hours writing that prompt. And when I put it in here, I think I got very good results. I got really nice looking slides. I think they turned out great. This is the short version. I have a 13 slide version. I got a website, which you guys saw. I put it in the window. I think it turned out great. It answers every question there could possibly be. And it's a website, so it's easy to get to. It took me about 3 hours to get all of that in just planning. I didn't put it in there and then say, oh, well, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, whoa, what about this? Every time you do that, you screw it up. You want to try to, you can do that, but it's a different process, right? That's called chain prompting, and you got to be good at it too. You got to use your words. And if you get a bad result from an LLM, it's because of you. It's not because of the AI. You're the one that didn't work, not it. Anyway, there you go.
Okay, thank you, Brent. So we see you guys next week, 1 week from now, and whoever has you guys have a Brent Stan store, right? In the chat box right now. So just do it, click it, and then we see you guys again 1 week from now, same time, same day.
And the plan is to continue on. If this goes well, then we'll do some clones, and if that goes well, then we'll do some social media avatars, and we'll do that all in a community. I'll put together an online school, and we'll put the resources in there, because those projects. Agents, I can build them. I know what they need to do. I don't know that you need to learn that, but the clones, you have to be involved. You got to have recordings of you. You've got to have pictures of you. You've got to have your voice. That's not something that,
Brent,
something you got to learn.
Brent, that's I saw that. That's the part I wanna hop into.
Yeah, and
So-
I built a bunch of resources. I had that up just a minute ago. The resource that I sent you for building clones is a step-by-step guide, and we'll put that in the community too. And so those will all be the entryway to all of that will be my stand store. So it'll get fleshed out here. Did we have any Vietnamese that wanted to take that? I'll make that available too if we did.
I don't think there's any Vietnamese, so I think we can focus with I want English. I want to do Indonesia Bahasa.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do some homework.
Yeah. I want that
That's
because that's gonna link, because Malaysia, Indonesia, I think it's very similar. Is that right, Mew? Can we just do Indonesia and we can use that in Malaysia? Right? Okay. Yeah, so we can do Indonesia. And
What
and,
about
I think
Indian?
in India, I think English is fine. You don't need, right? Tira, you don't need, because once you get into Hindi, then you got other 100 dialects.
Yeah, I think English is just fine for India.
Yeah, let's just do English. English is fine.
Okay,
Pretty much they all
guys,
speak
thank
it.
you so much. And I know that Brent have put like thousands and thousands of hours into
They've done it
doing
anyway.
this. Yeah. And some people might think that maybe he's selling the course. No, because he already told us this morning that what you said to us, Brent, it's just barely cover the cost, right?
Yeah, just barely. So when I put this all so I used Manus to do all this. Manus is a super agent out of China. It actually was just purchased by Meta for $2 billion.
Yep.
And it has tools, and that was the reason that I used it, because it had tools to make slides and tools to make websites and etc. And when I ran it all through it said, yeah, these are $300 to $500 a month agents. I can show you that chain. And actually, we eliminated a lot of platforms and hosting platforms because the costs would have been $300 minimum a month. A lot of these agents, specialized agents that have what are called continuous learning loops. So they're actually not one agent, they're two agents. So one agent goes out and does something, right? And then it comes back and reports to a manager agent. And then the manager agent takes what it learned and gives it a new assignment. And then it goes out and does it again. And it's a continuous loop. And that's how they self-improve and learn. And a learning agent like that in a niche, 10 grand and $2,500 a month or more.
Yeah.
That's really
So
honestly, that is the honest to God going price for a research agent like that. So
Okay.
I
So
knew
that's
it was
why
the
I said it.
hosting, and I've got no real margin, enough to brush my teeth, I guess.
Okay, anyway, just want you to understand, because some people are very, very low in this AI thing. So I just want to say that Brent has put so much hours, into doing this and simplify this for us and cheaper price. And at the same time, he also gonna help us walking through, because he loves us and he cares for us. And he wants us to be able to use this technology into our business successfully. Thank you, Brent, so much. And we all see you guys 1 week from now. Thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care, everybody.
Thank you, Brent.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you,
to see you all,
Brent.
by the way.
Thanks,
been a
Brent.
minute. It's been a minute. I'm still alive. I'm still here. Bye. Noon. Bye.
I think some people still here. Yeah. Oh, Brent left. Okay, guys.
All right.
ทูนโอเคไหม
Recording stopped.
คุณ
ทูน
นุ่
โอน เค
คะ
ไหม
คุณ
โอ
นุ่น
เค
คะ
ฮะ
สรุปหน่อยว่าต้องซื้ออะไรบ้างนะคะ เพราะว่า
ไม่ทุกคนถ้าเรายังไม่มีประสบการณ์เราเริ่มต้นพร้อมกันหมดเลยคือ99เหรียญ
อ๋อให้กดซื้อ99เหรียญก่อนยังไม่ต้องซื้อทุกอย่างใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ ไม่เขามีให้เลือก2 อันพี่แหม่มแต่เราไปทุกคนเราไป99 เหรียญก่อน
อ๋อ
แล้วเดี๋ยวเราค่อยๆไอ้นั่นไป อันเนี้ยมันจะรวม subscription แล้วก็ทุกอย่างหมดแล้ว คือเราไม่ต้องไปแยกทำเองอ่ะใช่ไหมคะมันรวมให้หมดเลย ที่จะสร้างเอเจนต์ขึ้นมา แต่คราวนี้ก็เดี๋ยววัน1 อาทิตย์จากวันเนี้ยก็เดี๋ยวมาเจอคุณเบรนท์แบบนี้อีกนะคะแล้วก็เดี๋ยวคุณเบรนท์ก็จะสอน10 คนเนี้ยให้ทำให้สร้างเอเจนต์เป็น
ค่ะ
นะคะโอเคก็เป็นสเต็ปไปแล้วอนาคตมันมีอะไรใหม่ๆอย่างเงี้ยหรือว่าอัปเกรดขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆอ่ะก็เดี๋ยวคุณเบรนท์เขาก็จะถ่ายทอดมาให้เรื่อยๆแต่มันช่วยที่แบบในการไปเสียเวลาเยอะๆยุ่งยากไปเรียนไปอะไรใช่ไหม
99ทำให้เราได้เลยเหรอคะ เห็นของคุณเบนซ์มีแบบอะไรเยอะๆด้วยอะ
อันนั้นมันก็ต้องแพงขึ้นแต่คันนี้นี่คือจุดเริ่มต้นก่อนพี่แหม่มเราเอาง่ายๆก่อนเข้าใจไหมคือเรายังไม่ได้เก่งถูกไหมเรายังไม่ได้เชี่ยวชาญแล้วก็
ไม่รู้เรื่อง
เอาระดับนี้แล้วเดี๋ยวค่อยไต่ไป คุณเบนบอกบางตัวมีเป็น10,000ก็มี10,000 เหรียญนะคะ
โอ้อืม
คราวนี้เราเริ่มต้นอันนี้ก่อนพี่แหม่มเนาะ
ค่ะ
แล้วถ้าเราเก่งแล้วเดี๋ยวเราจะไปอะไรยังไงของเราเดี๋ยวเราค่อยว่ากัน แต่ทุกคนเริ่มต้นเหมือนกันหมด99 เหรียญแบบอันที่ถูกสุดเบ
ได้
สิ
ได้
ก
แต่จะได้ให้พี่ชนะซื้อก่อนแกยังไม่
ใช่
กลับ
แล้วพี่มีลิงก์แล้วใช่ไหมคะ
ลิงก์มีแล้วตะกี้คัดลอกเก็บไว้ค่ะ
โอเค แล้วพี่แหม่มไปที่อินเดียนี่คือพี่ชนะเขาไปจัดประชุมหรือว่าของบริษัทนะคะ
เขาไปช่วยลูกทีม
คนนั้นดีเนอะ
อะไรคะ
ลูกทีมคนนั้นดีนุ่นเห็นเขาจัดห้องประชุมอ่ะทำเอง
อ๋
เล
อย คุณนวจิตของพี่หยุ
เนี่ย ย
เรายังไม่ได้ตามเรื่องคุณนวจิตเลยนะคะ ว่าเขาเอามาให้ในองค์ใต้องค์กรพี่หรือยัง ที่วันนั้น
เนี่ยจอนลองดูดีเนี่ย คุณนวจิตเขาจัดประชุมเองหมด ที่เมืองอะไรนะพี่แหม่มในแชท
วัน
บ็อก
นี้
ซ์
มีสาขาปาน
ที่ไหนนะคะ เมืองอะไรนะคะ
ำทางใต้อะค่ะทางใต้ใกล้ๆ
เนี่ยจอนผู้ชายคนเนี้ยจัดประชุมเอง